Plug in that lava lamp and fire up your floppy disks. You've landed on the Gen X Files. While you do your best to keep your Tamagotchi alive, these guys will work to untangle the phone cords.
I'm going to have some fun tonight. I'm going to call the 7000 party line. Hope you're there.
Here's Jason Blank, Sean Knowles, and Greg Minka.
Well, it's been a little while. Just schedules haven't worked out for us, but we wanted to really prepare. That's what it is. We wanted to prepare for this topic. Welcome, of course, Sean and Greg. Great to have you guys again.
My wife. She just zoomed by to get some water.
Yeah, and me, and just in my rider gear. That's all rider stuff. Yeah. So.
Well, since we're talking about things from 1986 and beyond, really, I mean, or 1984 and beyond, everything from 84 is amazing, right, wife? Correct. Yeah.
She's pretty quick to dash.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, doesn't want to be involved in the podcast. Don't blame her. This one's going to be a fun one today because we're going to talk all about cartoons, Saturday morning cartoons. And I'm going to start off because, of course, I've got a young one now, 9. And, for us, it was a ritual. Saturday mornings, you would get up 7:00, sometimes even earlier. And your Saturday morning consisted of you grabbed a box of your favorite cereal, you poured it into the bowl, and you sat in front of the television. And this was really the only time that we actually sat in front of a television for a long extended period of time, and we watched some of the best cartoons out there. And my daughter does not get that now. She'll sit and watch YouTube for hours upon end, as long as I'll let her. But
I'm glad you had cereal I actually liked. I got puffed wheat. I mean, whatever was on sale or in a bag. But I mean, luckily, I showed my kids the other day, like, if you put sugar on cereal, it tastes better. They're like, what? You put sugar in your cereal? Of course we did. It's terrible. You got cornflakes and puffed wheat.
Exactly right. All right. So, I'm going to open it up. Greg, we haven't heard from you yet, so you're going first then. When you think of Saturday morning cartoons, man, what's some of the ones that really kind of stick out for you?
Well, I know I have I got a couple of years on both of you, so I might have a couple deeper cuts, probably not. But when we brought it up, first of all, Super Friends, for sure, was probably my go-to when I was very young, and of course with the Wonder Twins, and so really enjoyed Super Friends. Yeah, I think we've actually even joked about it in another episode where they added the Wonder Twins, right, and scaled back some of the cast, and they added the Wonder Twins, and one was always in form of something cool like an animal, right, something really could tear into things, be strong, and then the shape of, like, I don't know,
water.
A glass of water, yeah, right, like it's like a sheet of ice, yeah, but not really, really
terrible in a hockey rink. Oh god.
Yeah, right.
It's tearing you up.
But really enjoyed Super Friends. Also, you know what, Alberta, probably you guys would have seen. I don't know if out in Saskatchewan, but do you guys remember the cartoon Hercules?
Oh, we were talking about that already.
Were you okay? Sorry,
we were pre-gaming.
So of course, unrehearsed as always on this podcast. But yeah, Hercules, the Power Ring, Daedalus, right? Newt, right?
Yeah,
and the Hydra, Herc, the Hydra.
I was trying to get that right earlier,
yeah,
and I couldn't do it, and that was almost perfect.
That was exactly. It took me back there, Greg. Like I felt like I was back there, man.
Yeah, if I had a pan flute, I'd do my.
Yeah, that's right. You'd be Toot, right? Toot? Is that right?
Toot, yeah.
Toot? Did they actually call it Toot?
Yeah,
I think they did.
Toot.
Right.
I'm sure, but although I do get a lot of things wrong in my past, my mind's not all there. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Toot. That was awesome. Yeah. That was awesome, Greg.
Yeah, it exactly. And I was impressed that you remember the characters, and that's how much these cartoons meant to us, right? You know, we remember the characters' names. We remember all these things. Like if I ask Chloe a character name from what she watches now, probably couldn't even say it, but we all watched the same ones. Sean, let's go with some of your faves. I know Hercules is one as well, and then that's one of mine too, but give me some of your other ones.
There was 3 cartoons that were tied together. One of them was Hercules because they reused the same backgrounds, they used the same sound effects, and it was Spider-Man, Rocket Robin Hood, and Hercules. They all always like have the same repeating background, the same sound effects.
Yep.
Like they would overlap. It was really cool to see like these rolling backgrounds because it was a cheap way to animate.
Yeah.
But it was pretty awesome. So I love Hercules. To me is in a deep cut because even though it was before all of us, really before we were born, but
Yeah.
it was just cool to watch because it was always there.
Yeah,
Right, kind of like the Flintstones. They're always there for
Yeah.
us, and the Jetsons were always there for us, but they were way before our time. But they were part of our routines.
I appreciate that you remember the whole similarity between Rocket Robin Hood and Spider-Man. I was talking with Troy actually, and Troy said hello, and we were talking about what was the, what are you going to talk about, and we brought it up, and it was so weird how, same filmation or same animation, and even remember that that beetle guy that would make the rocks come alive.
Yep.
And Rocket Robin Hood, same villain, and then Spider-Man somehow ends up there,
And same
firing his
sound
webs.
effects. The exact same sound effects. That's how you save money. Don't do all these expensive cartoons. Let's just reuse the backgrounds and some sound effects.
We'll
But
see.
the thing I remember the most, and this is why I like talking about cartoons. I still love cartoons to this day
Me too.
because they emote a feeling in us. I still love Transformers to this day. Transformers, I've always loved it. I had every single season. I couldn't find season 3, so 3 in part 1 of 4. Can't remember what it was. I had to buy it out of the UK, and I remember at the time I bought it off eBay. I got it and I couldn't play it because back then DVDs had regions on them.
Yeah.
And if it was outside of your region, you can't play it. I was so disappointed, and I'm still trolling for an entire set of Transformers, but there's like licensing agreements or something why they're not all together instead of one set, because obviously technology's changed. You'd really do the whole season on like a couple of DVDs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it is pretty. It just brings out a feeling. And I was talking to my wife earlier, and we're both geeking out about cartoons because it was just a big part of our childhood. So like she's a little bit older. Don't hope she doesn't watch this.
Oh,
She's
you're in
definitely
trouble
younger than
now,
me.
dude.
Yeah. She's definitely younger than me. But so there's a few other cartoons that she really connects with, but they're ones I think we connect to as older teenagers, guys in our 20s, all like the Disney afternoon stuff, like
Mhm.
Gargoyles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Gargoyles was the first like really serialized cartoon that was not the only one, but that really pulled us along so you can't miss an episode.
Mm-hmm.
But we all have that feeling. As soon as you say it, it emotes this feeling out of you. It's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Totally.
Yeah.
Both my wife and I have the entire series separately because I don't want her touching mine. Although she bought it for me, but it's mine. And you can watch every single one, and you can love those characters.
Yeah.
Then we're talking about how they made the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies, which I still think are awesome because I watched them a couple years ago and they were still good.
Yeah.
With the suits.
Yeah.
And again, that emotes the feeling in you too. Wasn't it awesome? And like I explaining the trivia, like those are the actors, but the voices are different. That was Corey Feldman who did Donatello. Yeah. And it was really cool. There's a cool trivia behind it because we want to know as much as you can about our characters. Or the weird things. I said Gem and the Holograms. She perked right up. And I don't care who you are. Everybody loves Gem and the Holograms.
There you go.
Man, woman, child, anybody.
That's right.
Gem and the Holograms was cool.
It was.
Everybody.
Jason, if you don't mind me just hijacking for a second, I got to circle back for a second. So Transformers, Sean, totally agree. How scarred were you as a kid when you went and watched the movie? Did you watch the movie in the theater and what they did? And okay, so I never saw it in the theater, but I heard about the turmoil it caused. What was that like in your world?
I just had this conversation with my wife, my wife, the one who's clearly younger than me. I told her it was okay. We're all guys, right? We do guy things. We don't cry. I cried when Optimus Prime died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And not that Optimus Prime wasn't cool.
Yeah.
But it was an Optimus Prime. He didn't deserve the leadership. That should have actually went to oh shoot, it was a character played by Robert Stack in that movie.
That's beyond me.
You know, I'm talking. It was another semi truck. I can't remember it off the top of my head for some reason.
Yeah.
But I remember watching that and being introduced to Sharkticons and
Yeah.
the Omnicron and all. It was so visceral and cool. And having Eric Idle doing the voice of one of the Transformers, it was awesome. And having the Micro Machines guy do one of the voices of one of the Transformers. You guys remember the Micro Machines guy?
Yeah, of course.
No, that's
Right?
I don't remember that stuff. I tell you,
Yeah.
I blocked all that stuff out.
I mean, so that's when one of the things that made cartoons cool was the commercials. Watching like the Micro Machines commercials, all the like the special toys for oh shoot, what's the ball you bounce on?
Oh, I know we had one. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah,
Pokeball.
Yeah, it's like a Pokeball. Yeah,
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yep.
And all those kind of cool things because you watch the commercials because they were cool. Because there was also the toys for the cartoon you were watching. In fact, Transformers, even though I think it's awesome, it's probably one of the greatest stories ever told. Not really, but was introduced because the toy was introduced first, and they wanted Hasbro wanted to introduce Transformers from Japan to North American audiences because it was so popular there. I think it was the Gundam and Voltron stuff. I think.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Is that right, Greg?
Yeah,
Can't
and I
remember.
only say that as a casual fan. I don't have any but that does sound right because I've actually read some stuff on it. I find it very fascinating as well.
Right, because they were just marketing to us, but they
Yeah.
did it in a cool way possible. Because I'm going to say this, I'm never going to take it back. Cartoons today suck. They're terrible.
They're not as good, but there's. I'm going to delve into that a little bit here, but I'm going to first give you. You guys kind of went off on a huge
I
tangent.
love cartoons. I
Yes.
still I will always watch them. I was actually just sorry. Go ahead, do your thing.
Well, I was going to say some of my
Going off
faves.
my rails.
Yeah, because of course I'm still I'm a diehard Looney Tunes fan. I still love the Looney Tunes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was
movie
talking.
just opened up today, right?
Which what? There's a movie that opened up today.
Looney Tunes one. It's Porky Pig and Daffy Duck.
Oh, jeez, I didn't even know that. But yeah, like I was telling Greg in our pregame, that Bugs Bunny introduced me to classical music. Like,
Okay.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
And, and I remember we used to watch, of course, the Looney Tunes all the time. Foghorn Leghorn is still one of my favorites from, like, to this day. He's still one of the best. Flintstones.
Can you do an impression?
No, I can't.
Come on. You can
I'll
do
let
Foghorn Leghorn.
I'll let you guys do that. That's good.
I say, boy. I say.
But and the Flintstones, like Flintstones weren't Saturdays. They were every day at lunchtime. But we watched them dedicatedly every single day. And it's amazing how that was so much part of our culture back then. Like in our generation, cartoons were a huge part of our culture. And really, I think that's probably why The Simpsons continue to this day. And, there's been spin-offs off of it, but like we were the first generation. We were the generation to really watch The Simpsons, right? We started The Simpsons, and I still watch The Simpsons almost every Sunday. And I watch the reruns. I watch it, I watch the movie. I have some of the characters. I'm not a huge Simpsons fan, but I still watch them. I'm a Homer fan, actually. And actually, here's a cool connection. And you guys probably know this. So Matt Groening, who created The Simpsons, his father, Homer, is the character Homer. Well, his father, Homer, grew up in Maine Center, Saskatchewan, which is 15 minutes north of where I grew up in Waldeck, Saskatchewan.
Wow.
So
I didn't know that. Did you know that, Greg?
No, not at all.
yeah,
That's awesome.
so the Simpsons have a Saskatchewan connection, and so I don't know if that's made it a little bit more for me, but I've always loved the Simpsons, and kind of getting off a little bit of the Saturday morning cartoons, but in essence, I say that the cartoons these days aren't as good; they suck, except for the Simpsons. Except for the Simpsons.
Well, there are exceptions to the rule, right? Because a lot of children's cartoons these days they're incoherent. They seem to be incoherent, like just babble or weirdness.
Yeah.
I did find a cartoon, and if you guys haven't seen it, I do suggest saying it because it's actually one of the best series of all time. There's only 2 seasons. It's called Gravity Falls.
I've heard of it. I never watched it. It used to be on. Was it on?
It's on Disney Plus.
Was it on
It's-
Adult
it's-
Swim? No.
No, because it actually is made for kids, but there's a lot of elements that are intriguing. It ran for 2 seasons in like 2007, 2008, somewhere in there.
Oh, okay.
And it is on Disney Plus. They better pay us for this. I'm just saying. I highly
Endorsements.
recommend it. I got the kids addicted to it, and they want to watch it again and again and again because it emotes that feeling in us where we watch something, you just want to watch it over and over and over again. Even the crappy cartoons were fun when we were kids, or the weird shows. And did we talk about the Captain? Oh shoot, the weird one where you could shoot the TV.
Oh my goodness!
Remember we talked about? Yeah, we talked about
that
one of the,
was Captain. No, not Captain Planet. Where you could take shots at the TV and you'd have that
you could
infrared.
shoot the guys. Yeah, it was
Yeah, gosh,
a cool show. It was on for 2 or 3 seasons.
Wow,
I'm gonna have to look
that was
that
an Alberta thing. We didn't have that in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, no, I totally know what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah,
Didn't-
well, we already talked about one of the pods, and I already can't remember it, Greg. And you even looked it up for us, and you sent us something. It's on our
really? Okay.
it's on our
all right.
text thread somewhere, I think. But even those things, and Captain Planet, my wife loves Captain Planet.
Yeah.
Our planet.
I tell you, there are so many great ones. One that I resonate too with is Inspector Gadget. It was one that we used to watch all the time. The quality was horrible. I was a Garfield. I am still a Garfield fan. So I've watched a lot of Garfield cartoons over the years for sure, and the quality has gotten better now. Like I watched the latest Garfield movie, which is a lot better. But part of that, the quality is that's what makes it so cool for us. I think is that we have that you can watch an '80s cartoon, and it's still it's just that because that quality, it just reminds us of being kids.
I have a question for both of you guys. If both of you guys watched Inspector Gadget, did they ever show Dr. Claw's face?
Not that I've seen. Nope.
Apparently, there's some lost episode where they show Dr. Claw's face. Greg?
Never.
Really?
I never saw it.
I've never seen it either, but I was told there was, and that's where they messed up in the movie. They showed him right away.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The one with Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Side comment: Captain Power and the Soldiers of
That's-
the Future, 1987.
Look it up.
That's
That is
what it
all
was.
kinds of terrible, but
Yeah.
Exactly.
it's fun to watch if you can find it. Another thing my wife and I were just talking about too, about cartoons in the 80s and 90s. If you guys remember at the end of G.I. Joe and He-Man, they always had a life lesson,
Yeah.
Mhm.
like about bullying people and those. And I
Yeah.
think that kind of heart from things is missing.
Yeah.
Because I think that
Yeah.
kind of stuff's important for kids to see someone like He-Man just scoot
Yeah.
up on his little scooter thing,
Yeah.
the episode, and give you a little tip about life.
It's
Or
Scooter.
I don't know what it is.
What
I
version of
think it's
He-Man are you
Scooter.
watching? It's
No,
Scooter.
he's that
Beep,
thing he
beep.
rides. It wasn't Battle Cat. It was something he rode up.
It was
up to the
totally
screen.
Battle Cat is who he wrote.
I'm gonna watch He-Man after this.
All right. Okay.
I'm gonna screenshot because I'm sure he rode up on his like scooter thing.
I love this. I just love this. You
No,
know,
we'll have to post the next podcast that Craig was right. I'm sure.
it's Battle Cat. I'm sure of it. It's not a scooter.
I'm gonna send you guys a video clip in 15 minutes.
well, gentlemen, we've got about 5 minutes left.
Oh wow.
I know. Time flies
how
when we
about-
get in here.
Everybody just gives just a quick roundtable, their favorite cartoons and things they would still watch today.
Okay.
Modern or old.
Sure.
Mm.
Greg, go
Greg?
first. Go ahead.
Thinking only about the 80s and there was a couple that really actually Troy brought it up, but we watched it. Battle of the Planets you remember that with Mark, Jason, Tiny, Keop, and Princess, and they'd all have their vehicles and they joined to make like a big. It was very similar to Voltron, but that one I really liked. I really liked Dungeons and Dragons.
That was an awesome cartoon and underrated.
Yeah,
I'd like to find it again.
Yeah, really good. Loved it, and actually loved the movie. Side comment, but loved the movie as well.
The new one?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, so good.
I've watched it 3 times.
Yeah, really good. And I will say, obviously, with my Star Wars roots, love a lot of the Star Wars thing. Whether it was Clone Wars, and really enjoyed watching it with my son Evan, and all the Star Wars things related. But yeah, those are a few of mine.
Yeah, well, for me, there's so many, but yeah, I could just say the Looney Tunes, because every single character in the Looney Tunes, Marvin the Martian and Froghorn Leghorn and, Pepe Le Pew and all of them, like Bugs Bunny, of course, Elmer Fudd, Porky Pig, they're all just, I still love watching the Looney Tunes to this day, and if I ever see it, I watch it.
Yeah, right on.
Sean?
Oh, well, you forgot Speedy Gonzalez.
Oh, Speedy, he's awesome too.
You forgot his cousin, the slowest mouse in Mexico with the biggest gun. That guy's amazing. I'm a Daffy Duck guy, so.
Oh, there you go.
Yes. I love Transformers. It was kind of my introduction into cartoons, and that's my heroine. And I still watch Transformers to this day. And anytime I can see it, I watch it. And Greg's right that the movie's heartbreaking, but I love it, even though a lot of people hate it. Rotten Tomatoes gives it the worst score ever.
Yeah.
And I like Mask, if you guys remember Mask.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, yeah, He-Man and She-Ra, and I actually love She-Ra better than He-Man because the henchmen were way better in She-Ra.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
And I liked Hordak more than Skeletor because he was a little more ridiculous and not like evil, but it was good. And same thing. I like the life lessons then. It was pretty awesome. Greg, if you like Super Friends, there was a cartoon that came out as an adult on Adult Swim called Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. Highly recommended.
Yeah, I caught like half of one episode once, but I've heard that it's quite good. Yeah.
The first episode starts with a cop pulling over the mystery machine and smoke coming out of it. And of course, Scooby and Shaggy are high, and they speed off. So he always defends Hanna-Barbera characters. So it's pretty awesome. There's one episode called The Boona Bomber. Highly recommended. And if you like Johnny Quest, do you remember Johnny Quest?
Yes,
I do. Yeah.
Highly recommend The Venture Brothers. Another Adult Swim cartoon. I just like cartoons.
So do I. This has been awesome, guys. Like always, I love that we connect so well on so many cool different topics. You can tell that Generation X is the best generation, and this just proves it again.
Or we're the most eccentric. I don't know.
No, I think we're the best. I'll go with that. All right, gentlemen. Well, until next time, let's hang out, and we'll have another really cool topic to talk about in a couple weeks.
Sure. That sounds awesome.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, time to power down our old school computers and flip our CDs back into their cases. Thanks for listening to the Gen X Files. Hosted by Jason Blank, Sean Knowles, and Greg Minka. Production assistance from Scott Mitchell. Produced by Blankman Productions. Remember, be kind, rewind. Quick, rewind it! And keep rocking those aviators and Doc Martens.